This one is hard for me to talk about because, well, one, there's some privacy issues concerned, but I think I can talk about them in a way where I'm not going to, run the risk of compromising anyone's privacy. But there have been times where the connection with the other person or the other person's higher self has been so profoundly emotional that I couldn't even channel. There was just so much emotion that comes up that prevent me from actually channeling, even though Jonathon or the entity that is there to speak through me is not emotional. I'm emotional. And so what I've discovered is that this emotion usually is an experience of unconditional love. And since that time, I experience this often when I begin channeling, just a sense of unconditional love that is so pure and so powerful that I can't do anything but have an emotional response to it. But in general, the sessions that have been the most impactful to me are those where people are earnestly looking for answers, right? They have experienced some great difficulty or negative situation in their life, and they're looking for a solution to it. And when Jonathon and the other aspects of my higher self have the opportunity to come to speak with someone like that, the message is typically very powerful. And I don't remember much of what is said, but I can feel the energy as it's coming through, and I can remember those. And my validation there is the reaction that I get after I'm done channeling, and the impact that the work that Jonathon has done for the person that I was doing the channeling work for. And I think the biggest, most important example of that is the channeling session that I did for my family soon after my father had passed away. And this was really for my mother. That was the idea. We had said, okay, Mom, let's get together. Let's talk about Dad. And because she was having such a hard time understanding the circumstances and the timing and all of that, and how to continue on without him. They were inseparable. And so Jonathon came through and he had some very important messages for my mother. One of the most important things that he said was that there was no accident here. It wasn't unplanned, right? The way that he passed, where he passed, the timing of his passing, it was all according to a plan that he had set up. Not necessarily at his personality level, but certainly, in coordination with his higher self and with his guides and the angels that were working that day with him. And once my mother understood the circumstances of his passing, it made all the sense in the world to her and brought her so much peace and comfort and release, essentially. And so that was probably the most significant one. But really, almost every session is impactful in some way or some fashion. And for me, even though I can't remember the session, sometimes I go back and I listen to the recordings, and I realize that there is a shift that has happened with the person that I'm working with, right? And that's what keeps me doing this. This is why I'm doing my channeling work, because it makes a difference in people's lives.